Fine, welcome back. Today be San Mai Part 2. So, yesterday, it really whooped me. And today, I just ground a little bit there. I only just knocked some of the scale off of it to check it. It looks fairly good. After work around, it's not going to be a big knife, big blade at all. So, I may have to do something with a tang. I may have to try to forge weld a tang on it. I don't know. So, but anyway, today I'm gonna stretch it out. I'm gonna use the horn of my anvil as a fuller and try to make it as long as I can without overheating the tang anymore. It don't need to be any thinner. If I do have to, I'll just turn it around and get a piece of, I've got a piece 1095 right here somewhere. I seen it yesterday, last night. If that don't work, I'll just do it with mild steel and make a tang out of that. As long as I get it welded on there, it won't matter what it's made out of. It's not like it's going to be super. Sun's out. I don't believe it lasts long enough. easiest thing in the world, but it'll hold. It's got a few cold shuts in it, little gap right there, which will be all right. And then it's a D-lam back here, so I know that, so I'm gonna have to grind into it and make this tang a little bit longer and the blade just a little bit shorter. But it's I don't know, 3/16 of an inch thick back here. Tapers down this way. The tang tapers, so I got my double distal taper just right in here is where I got to worry about. Now I'm going to run through a couple of normalizing cycles. Once I get in there and let it dry, start grinding. Okay, when that gets cooled off to where it won't sizzle, and if I dunk it in water there to keep it cool, I'll take it in and take it in the shop there and lay out and see what kind of knife I can get, profile I can get out of it. Like I said, you got to be willing to work with the steel. If you go into this with a set, I've got to make this way, and your steel, your welding like mine probably didn't take all the way through. You've got to be able to be adaptive, have to change and go with what the steel gives you. Now, if I was somebody had ordered a Sanmai blade, you know, big long thing and everything else like that, and I'd have to keep going till I made it right, you know, like that. But this is just an experimental knife right now. Like I said, I'm learning how to forge, learning how to forge weld and everything else. So hopefully what I learned last night about just doing the little taps instead of, you know, putting it down there and hitting it fairly hard, not really wailing on it, but a whole lot harder than what I wound up doing it there in the end. So anyway, I'll take you inside and let the shop be cooling down a little bit. Okay, the double Sanmai is cooled down. I've let it go. It had a blister. It made a blister right here on it. So I don't know how much of a point or how long of a blade we'll get, but we'll get what we get. Now, like to thank Kenny for the Metal Man Productions for the idea and watching him do it, and so I thought I'd try it. And of course I had to put my own little spin on it, twist on it, and try to double it just to make sure, but see if I could do it. It would bode good for further later on Damascus knives if I so started making Damascus and everything. I have some Damascus. I got it from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. $30 for a piece of it. It's from Pakistan. I hope it's good, but I've had it for a while. I hadn't been brave enough to break it out and try it. And but anyway, let me put me a good sharp fresh blade on the belt on the grinder right there and get my mask on, and we'll go to see what this metal, what we got, how much of it's stuck and how much of it's not. Well, all I can do is try. Not afraid to fail. You'll never learn anything. So let me get on it. Okay, that's the shape so far that it seems to want to be. Got a little bow right there. It may be just because it's not maybe just the way it's done, the way it's forged. So other than just a few spots of D-lam along the back here and just a little bit along the top, that shouldn't be much of a problem. And then I'll have to get out here and do some filing on it, square these corners up to, and then work this D-lam off for the handle. And kind of look at there pretty good. It's fairly thick right there at the transition right now. Not been burned up too awful bad, so yeah, and hopefully that ain't a blister. I had a blister right there on it, and there's a little pocket that's left. That should be gone when I grind the edge on it, and a little bit, just little bitty spots here and there that should come right off of it when I do the bevel on it. So let me think about this for a minute or two, and let me get it marked up, and I'll come right back. Well, holy frog snacks. I forgot to turn the camera back on. Okay, been grinding on this, seems like forever, in 3 days. Now, I'm going to put it on my little thing I turn, I'm going to just kind of buff it and hand sand it. Still got a little bit of an inclusion in there, but it might come out hand sanded, I don't know. There's you got a little, the core got off a little on me, so one side is, well, not exactly, they're pretty close to being the exact same, but they're just a little difference, and not much. Finish that up on the final grinds, but everything. So yeah, I think maybe I got enough to, on the cleanup passes, I should have enough to do that, hopefully. So let me get it over here and get it in the little thing there so I can hand sand a little bit, so we can stick it in the ferric chloride for just a minute or two and see what we got. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with it or not. It's got a little inclusion line there, a little split up here. I ain't too worried about that. And the same way here, just a couple of little spots there. But let's see what I can do with it. Good looking knife. Like the proportions of it so far. Alright, let's see what I can do over here. Wow. I'm gonna have to put it back in there. Evidently it just didn't. Alright, give it just a little bit more than 5 minutes this time, or okay. It's not perfect, and it's got that inclusion right there, and I think there's another right here in this line right here a little bit, and same way over here is a little bit of inclusion up on top where it didn't weld, and then there's a little spot back here on this back leg right here that holds down. So I don't know if I need to sand it anymore before I heat treat it or what. I know heat treating will make the lines stand out a whole lot more, but I may need to do a little more grinding on it to get it a little better. I don't know. It's plenty thick to heat treat, so I don't want to get it too thick or too thin to heat treat, because it'll split and break and everything else on me. So I think what I'll do is I'll just hang out for the next hour or so and take some 120 grit and see what I can do with it. So next time, if it pans out, we'll be heat treating. Alright, till next time, it's Bobby Shields saying, God bless.